Cristiano Ronaldo, or CR7 to his friends, is without doubt one of the living legends of football with a capital F, just like Pelé, Maradona, or Michel Platini. Indeed, the Portuguese youngster's list of honors includes some of the most prestigious titles a professional player could ever dream of, not to mention his incredible personal achievements and exploits. However, for unclear reasons, the early years of Cristiano Ronaldo's life and his childhood in the Santo Antonio district of Funchal on Madeira Island are very rarely mentioned. What has been Cristiano Ronaldo's incredible destiny, from his dazzling debut at Manchester United to his hegemonic rise to the top of European football with Real Madrid? Make yourself comfortable, because today we're going to go back to the roots and find out how Cristiano Ronaldo became a footballer. Let's get started. Cristiano Ronaldo, whose full name is Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro, was indeed born on February 5, 1985, on this magnificent island with splendid landscapes, nestled about 660 kilometers from the African coast. But if the idyllic, even paradisiacal environment of the island is undeniable, the fact remains that poverty takes its toll and that many Madeirians only manage thanks to social assistance and seasonal activities related to tourism and construction. Cristiano's parents were among the vast majority of these penniless islanders who, with 4 children to support and the miserable wages of seasonal workers, were struggling to make ends meet. José Diniz Aveiro, Cristiano's father, was a gardener and also a steward for the local club FC Andorrina, where he looked after their equipment. His mother, Dolores Aveiro, worked as a cook from time to time. The couple, thus living in precarious conditions and already parents of 3 children, Hugo, Elma, and Katia, therefore considered the birth of a 4th child with great apprehension. Dolores had been so discouraged by her new pregnancy that she even tried to suspend it, trying to have an abortion, and in the face of repeated refusal from her general practitioner, the 30-year-old mother even used old grandmother's methods, such as drinking boiling beer and running to exhaustion. Luckily for her and for world football, her many attempts at abortion all ended in failure, and Cristiano Ronaldo was lucky enough to be born and grow up to become a true living legend. The first years of little Cristiano's life were spent in a large family, living the torments of the oppressive poverty that had become their daily life. As Cristiano grew up, he fell more and more in love with the game, and dedicated his entire days to it. The little boy went out to play football very early in the morning and never came home before 9 p.m., much to the chagrin of his mother, who was very worried about him. Cristiano had become so addicted to football that he wore out his shoes very quickly and, unable to buy new ones, had to borrow his big brother's and cousin's shoes. Little Ronaldo has always been very attached to his father, and it was at his instigation that the player decided to join the club where he worked as a steward, FC Andorrina. Little Cristiano played his first game in an official jersey at the age of 7, and although there were many rules he didn't understand, he easily adapted to the organization and discipline of the matches. He then joined to the Desportivo Nacional club, where he stayed only 1 season, before finally being discovered by Sporting Club de Portugal. However, the Lisbon-based club paid no more than €2,200 for the youngster, a sum that makes one smile when one considers the staggering sums involved in his future transfers, which will forever be etched in the history of football. At the age of 11, Cristiano Ronaldo arrived in Lisbon, armed with his passion for football and the impetuosity of his youth. For the youngster, it took a while for him to adjust to the tumultuous life of the metropolis, where he had only known the long, quiet days of his native island. So, Cristiano Ronaldo's nerves are on edge and he soon gets angry. However, his character will soften quite quickly as the young islander adapts to life in the big cities, especially since his mother left her job as a cook in Madeira to come and live with him. From then on, the young prodigy demonstrated the full extent of his incredible footballing potential, and the coach, totally won over, did not hesitate to let him play for all the club's age categories. It was therefore not uncommon to see Cristiano struggling on the pitch against opponents much older than him, but who nevertheless seemed to be at the same level, such was his excellent play. At the age of 16, the young Cristiano Ronaldo was finally spotted by Laszlo Bologna, Sporting Clube de Portugal's first-team coach, who brought him into the big league. It was during the 2002-2003 season that the young football prodigy made his debut on the international stage, and began to receive increasing attention. He will play several matches with Sporting, where he will demonstrate his undeniable qualities as a technician and striker, but above all his high versatility on the pitch. For Cristiano Ronaldo is so active that he can play in any position, and it was not uncommon to see him running around on the field. sometimes in defense and sometimes in the attack, until the final whistle from the referee. From then on, he began to attract the interest of Europe's biggest clubs, whose talent scouts were increasingly ogling his footballing performances and achievements on the pitch. Cristiano Ronaldo attracted the attention not only of AC Milan but also of Liverpool, Olympique Lyonnais, and even Barcelona. But although he was repeatedly approached by his prestigious clubs, no agreement ever materialized. One of the reasons for this was the high cost of his transfer. It was an ironic twist of fate and a mistake for which Barca paid dearly enough when Cristiano scored his many goals in Victor Valdés' goal. But it was undoubtedly at the inauguration of Sporting's new José Alvalade XXI Stadium, where his team will take on Manchester United, that the young Portuguese prodigy made a remarkable display that would change his career forever. Cristiano Ronaldo's footballing future took a turn for the worse on 6 August 2003, when he made an excellent performance against the English Giants, who lost that day by 3-1, following a series of spectacular dribbles and lightning breakthroughs. Back in England, the Manchester players were talking about him and asked coach Alex Ferguson to recruit him, which he had the whole intention. On 12 August 2003, Cristiano Ronaldo signed for Manchester United for the modest sum of €15 million. It was the deal of the century for Sporting, who, as already mentioned, had only paid a paltry €2,200 for it. Cristiano chose number 28, the same one he wore at Sporting the year before. But Ferguson gave him the club's number 7, worn by players who had written club histories such as Bobby Charlton, George Best, Eric Cantona, and David Beckham. Needless to say, Sir Alex Ferguson was right, as it was under Manchester United that the 18-year-old Lusitanian would let the pinnacle of his art explode. After a hesitant start, Cristiano, who now called himself CR7, was gradually getting used to England's frank and direct style of play and was already starting to gain more ground on the pitch. Indeed, season after season, CR7 was making the most surprising dribbles and assists for his teammates, while discovering an irrefutable talent for scoring goals. The young Portuguese, always acting on instinct, discovered that it was becoming easier and easier for him to score goals and make goalkeepers tremble, whether by his dazzling header or powerful Ottoman cannonballs fired from 25 yards. It was therefore only natural that he was the top scorer in the Premier League in the 2007-2008 season, with 31 goals in 34 games played, as well as in the Champions League, where he scored 8 goals in 11 matches, including 2 against his formative club Sporting Lisbon. More physical and much more prolific in front of goal than in his early days, CR7 has gained unwavering self-confidence and is now looking to the club of clubs, Real Madrid, to boost his footballing career. His first Golden Ball won the same year in 2008, will only strengthen his convictions and hopes. On the 26th of June 2009 finally, and after more than 2 years of rumors and media uproar, Real Madrid bought Cristiano Ronaldo for 6 years and the record sum of €94 million. It became the most expensive transfer in the history of football at the time before he was subsequently dethroned by Gareth Bale, Paul Pogba, and Neymar. He was presented on 6 July 2009 in a packed Santiago Bernabéu stadium, breaking another record as the player whose presentation brought in the most fans, estimated at between 80,000 and 95,000. However, despite the incredible performance of his new recruit, the 2009-2010 season will be a disappointing one for Real Madrid, who lost La Liga to their eternal rivals Barca. Cristiano Ronaldo was able to demonstrate once again the full extent of his adaptability as he quickly familiarized himself with the Spanish style of play, the famous tiki-taka. And for a whole decade, CR7 will be sharing the stage with their new rival, Lionel Messi, the Liga's top scorer, offering a spectacle out of the ordinary and making the Spanish championship an event not to be missed. His footballing exploits earned him 4 more Golden Balls, and by the time he left Real in 2018 to join Juve, CR7 had left an immense legacy and records that were hard to beat. But beyond his enormous list of achievements and personal feats that would make even the greatest players shudder with envy, Cristiano Ronaldo made a lasting impression on the minds of even his opponents and detractors. CR7 has thus succeeded in becoming a living legend, whose fame surpasses that of the President of the United States, who is recognized as the most powerful man on the planet. And for a young boy who grew up in poverty, and whose mother even tried to get an abortion because of his precarious situation, to say that he has done well in life would be a shameless euphemism. Don't forget to tell us what you think of Cristiano Ronaldo's fabulous destiny. Isn't it incredible? I'll see you in the next video, to discover a new story as impressive as this one.